What up, y'all? It's Wheezy in the builds. You know what I'm talking about?
Then when I'm in the game, I like to style with my kills.
Anyways, I'm gonna be showing you how to make beats like Smatt certified and how to make loops in his orchestral style. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so look, I was on YouTube. I looked up dark orchestral samples. I was trying to get some inspiration and I came across this sample, right? That's all I heard, just that little bit that I had the idea already. Alright, so I started with this. So I started with these strings from Contact from the Session Strings Pro 2. And I switched it to this one on tape because I tried to make it sound a little bit like old, vintage. And I changed the main to trill. This is what the first pattern sounded like. Started with this. In this contact bank, you can have a switch. Say the first one is on trill, and then you see this is the velocity. So you see down here, this is velocity, and then once you get past that, it's a different style. So let's say I do like staccato. Under the velocity will be staccato, and then over it will be trill. So you get like two different sounds in one preset, which is crazy. So that's what I did here with this note right here. And then this one is a different note. And I just had it going back and forth. Down here, I used that second velocity pattern, not the trill. It sounds like this. I could have it like this, but it sounds off. I just did the exact same notes I did from the top, but I just had it longer for the 2 bars instead of every 1 bar, just to have a little bit of a switch up. Yeah, it's simple as that. Then I grabbed the SRX strings, literally the default preset, and I used the same note. So it's gonna be D sharp up an octave, and then A sharp, which is just part of the D sharp minor chord. I have them very high octave just because this one right here was a little bit lower, so I wanted something in the back but not in the same octave. And since it's kind of orchestral, I just randomized the velocity. I got this vocal from Splice. This is what it sounds like. And I just kind of wanted to make this sound a little more vintage, so I added a compressor because it was way too loud. You can literally see it from the waveform. I got this tape mellified. This is the settings I did. I was just messing around with it just to make it sound a little different. And I rendered it out because I have the free version. I just rendered it out because it cuts out the audio. And this is what it sounds like before and after. Then I got the SRX Piano 1, the default preset, and I just laid down the root notes, the same notes from the first pattern. Then I got the Biggie Brass from Xenology and I copied that just so that low end has a little bit more punch. Then from the same contact banks, I got the violas and I put it on staccato just to have like a little bit of rhythm. And I think I did 2 patterns, but only one of the patterns I used. This is the pattern. Yeah, this first pattern, it was just more for rhythm. You don't hear it, but you can tell it's there, but you can't tell it's there. Then I made the second pattern, and this one is a little bit different. I still use the same 2 notes, the D sharp into these 2 notes. I did the second group of 2 notes as a little bit of variation. And then I literally just copied that over throughout the whole thing. And yeah, that's the whole loop. Then I literally just mixed it and I routed them all to this one track and I put this pitch shifter on it. I pitched it up 1. So we're actually in E minor. So this is what it sounds like before and after. So yeah, now the drums. The drums are very simple. Most of them are coming from my Wastelands 2 kit. I'm gonna have it linked in the description. And yeah, start with the snare bounce first. Obviously first for the loop, routed it all to this one track. And the way you do that, you just control left click to select all of them. You right click one of these and route to this track only. You created a bus and you can just EQ everything all at once. And yeah, so I EQ'd that and I arranged it just so the first part doesn't have the EQ. The second part has it. Starting with the snare, Smatt likes to use this pattern a lot. If you've been following Smatt for a while, you know he uses this exact hi-hat pattern in almost all of his beats.
It's just simple as hell. We ain't do shit. Put a tag on a nigga hoe. Got the gayest bitches at the door. Every day look like the night before. 5 bitches I been on, no.
And when legit just went platinum, so if that simple hi-hat melody can go platinum, then we can use it too. So he likes to start off with this little roll. There's so many variations you could do. The one I did here is I had the hi-hat on every 808, but then you add the little rolls in between and it just adds more bounce. Another variation you can do is the same triplet into a 2-step, but you take it out at the snare. So, and make sure you turn up the velocity so that hi-hat kind of distorts a little bit. You see, it's just very bouncy. It's very simple, but it works. That's the Smatt hi-hat bounce. Since the hi-hat's kind of dispersed, it's kind of simple, you want to have this open hat to kind of fill in those gaps. And the 808 has to hit. I'm using the OG from my Wastelands 2, and I just boosted it up by 3% and I EQ'd it by 11%. I like to EQ it because when you boost it too much, it kind of distorts, and the EQ just turns up the volume without distorting it. And you kind of want to turn the out knob a little bit down. Yeah, very simple. Like I said, I followed the same pattern from the hi-hat, and then for this roll I was using the 3rd step, and I just did 3 notes. And the way I got this note is I literally was started at E, I went 1 2 3 4 down, and I just pitched it up an octave. And then right here I did the same thing, except going down I went 1 2 3 4 5, and that's the range he uses for these rolls. And then at the end I just pitched it up an octave. So as you can see, I copied this over. It's the same pattern except I went up just to follow the root note, and then I just had this variation with the rolls, and then I just added this kick just to emphasize the main notes of the 808, not the rolls. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it to these types of beats. You just kind of mix it. I literally just have a soft clipper on the master. I just boost the highs just a little bit, and yeah, just some normal leveling to all the sounds. Not really, you can see there's not really any effects on these. It just goes to show you don't need much mixing or mastering at all. Yeah, let me know what type of tutorials y'all want next, and yeah, bye.